Hey everyone, this is Neha from Edureka and this session is all about Selenium projects. Let's have a look at the agenda. In this session, I will be discussing two projects on Selenium and few trending case studies as well. So first, I will tell you how to automate a website and run the test cases. Here, I will be automating our Edureka website and run various test cases on that. Next project will be about a flight booking application wherein I will enter the details and book a flight and get the confirmation as well. And after that, I will tell you some interesting case studies where many industries are using Selenium to resolve their challenges. I hope you found agenda interesting. Let's move on and get started. So the first project is all about automating Edureka website. Let's have a look at the problem statement. So it goes like this. The candidate who has registered for Edureka portal wants to update all the details available in the portal. So what is the question? The question is to write a Selenium script to do the same and explore the Edureka portal. So what are the steps involved in that? First, you have to log into Edureka website, navigate to My Profile, update personal details and career interests as well, and then you have to log out from the portal. Simple? Let's see how Selenium provides a solution for this. So already I have created a project, that is 𝐷 project, because I need to check whether the test has passed or failed, and that's the reason I'm creating a 𝐷 project. So first I'll import all the packages and have created a class called handling all the controls. And I have declared the web driver as static. Next, at test, this is the annotation. At priority 0, I'm creating a method called Edureka profile. Why? Because I need to check the Edureka profile only. That's the reason I'm creating a method called Edureka profile. And the very first step that I have done in this is I have set the properties for my Chrome driver because I want the Chrome driver to navigate and launch Google Chrome. And that's the reason I'm using Chrome driver. And I have defined my implicitly wait for 15 seconds and then launched edureka.co website. And inside my try block, what I'm doing, I'm asking the thread to sleep for 1000 milliseconds, that is 1 second. If not, it has to catch an exception, that is the interrupted exception E, and handle it. Now, before we move ahead, let's execute the program and first understand what's happening. So I'm going to run it as 𝐷 test. So you can see it detected the version of 𝐷, right? So what is happening? It navigated through Edureka website first, and then it clicked on login button where it will enter the email and password as well, and it will hit the login button. Yes, you can see on the screen that Chrome is being controlled by automated test software. Now let's see what happens. So it is clicking on the profile icon and clicked on My Profile. So it navigated through My Profile. So now what happened? I wanted to enter the personal details, so it entered that, and then it's navigating through career interest and it's entering all the details like you can see. Employment types. Employment type was both, and it asked, are you willing to relocate? And it clicked on yes and entered the preferred location as well. And next what happened? It navigated back through the main page and it logged out. Correct? Yes. So I'm not doing anything here. Everything was being controlled by automated test software and everything was done by itself. So basically what happened, it first navigated through Edureka website, then entered the credentials for username and password and hit the login button. Then it clicked on your profile and navigated through My Profile where you can update your details like personal details, career interest, everything. And then it navigated back through your main page and it logged out. So how all this happened? It happened with the help of a Selenium, that is the automation testing tool, and it automated everything. Yes? So now you can also see in the console that Edureka profile test was passed and the default test was one test, that it ran properly and there are no failures and there are no skips. And now again for default suite also the total test was 1, that was perfectly fine, that it ran, and there were no failures and there were no skips as well. So now let's understand the code in depth. So basically Chrome driver is used to launch Google Chrome, and that's why we are using Chrome driver. For Google Chrome you are using Chrome driver. If you are using Mozilla Firefox browser, you can use 𝐸+𝐸 driver. There are different drivers for all the different types of browsers. Yes. Now using the driver.get, you will navigate through Edureka website. And the first thing that I done when I navigated through Edureka website was I want to click on the login button. Yes. So what happened? I gave driver.find element by link text. So link text is the locator whose value is login. And as it is a button, I'm just clicking on that. If you wish to know more about the locators and XPath and how to locate element on a website and everything, you can check out the Edureka playlist on these topics like locators in Selenium, XPath in Selenium, automation testing, everything. You can have a look at all these videos in our YouTube playlist. So I'll tell you from where I got this link text locator. So first I will log into edureka.co and you can see there's a login button. So I'll click on that. I'll choose inspect and you can see a text called login that is within the anchor tags. You can see that. That is why I'm using link text locator to locate this particular link. Next I'm giving thread.sleep, again same thing. And now is the time for me to navigate through all the elements in the web page and perform actions on that. So what I have done, I'm creating a new object of actions and pass the parameter as driver. So next, using the created actions, I'm finding the element by ID. That is driver.find element by ID and I'm giving the value of the email. So that will be the ID for the Gmail username. So you can see it has a value for the ID as SI pop-up email. So that's what I have given this here. And next I'm doing the actions.click on that. And then I am sending the action.sendKeys. SendKeys is used to enter the values in the text box. So I am entering the value, that is my email address. And next I'm using action.build.perform. Why? I want to build this particular thing and perform the action on the email text box. So that is why I'm using this. So the next one is to enter the password. Same thing, I'll go back to Edureka website and click on the password, inspect it, and you can see it has a value for ID as SI pop-up password. Correct? Again, I'll send keys because I want to enter the password. After that, I want to hit the button, that is the login button. For that, I'm finding the element by XPath. Basically, XPath is also a type of a locator to locate complex elements on the web page when ID and name locators are not present. So what I'll do, I'll just go back here. For login, I have to just click on inspect and I'll just go back here and just click on inspect. So I have already installed my 𝐶𝐝path extension. If you wish to know about 𝐶𝐶path, you can check out the video on our YouTube playlist. So basically 𝐶𝐶path is a plugin that helps us to write complex XPath and CSS selectors. So I have added that plugin to my Chrome and you can see I can find the relative and absolute XPath. So I just copied the value and pasted for this particular button. You can write it on your own as well if you want. And now the next thing is, so once it logged in, the next step was to click on the profile. So that's why I am writing it again with the help of the XPath. So you can see that I am writing the same with XPath, that is I am clicking on the my profile. And after that there's a menu, that is a drop down menu. I'll just show you how it will work. So this is a drop down menu and I want to choose my profile from this. So for that, what I'm doing, I'm writing it by XPath, that is a drop down menu user. To find out my profile, this is the XPath, that's the drop down. And next I'm defining the WebDriver weight, that is the explicit weight. Why? Because I am creating an explicit weight to check whether the expected conditions will be visible on the particular element or not within the given time frame. So what I've given the WebDriver weight, that is nothing but my explicit weight, and I'm creating object of that and passing 20 seconds as a time frame. So what is my expected conditions? I want the expected conditions to be the visibility of the element located by XPath. So what is this XPath? So it contains the text whose value is my profile. This is just to check whether the element will be visible or not. And that's why I'm defining the WebDriver weight. And next I'm just trying to get the title using driver.getTitle, whatever is the page title. After I enter to my profile, I have to edit the personal details and update it. So next what I have to do, I have to just select the edit button, right? So after that, I want to just click on the edit option of the personal details and send the values for that. So again, I'm finding the element with the help of XPath. So after that, I'm just printing some elements just to check whether the statements or the functioning of the project is working fine or not. So in between the lines, I'm just printing some statements. Next, what I want to do, I want to navigate back to my profile. So I did that. And from there, I want to click on career interest. That's what I'm doing. And I'm navigating back to career.interest. And using the drop down, I'm finding the element based on the select attributes, the interested job, and select by visibility of the text that is software testing. So what it should do, it should enter the career interest as software testing, and that should be visible. So unless and until that, it will be waiting. After that, next step is select from the drop down employment type and find it by XPath and choose it as both. It will be like permanent, contract, or both. So I'm choosing it as both. Next option is to drop down CTC. So I'm locating with the help of XPath. That is the last drawn salary, and this is the XPath for that. And that I have to select by visible text that is not applicable. There'll be a drop down like, I'll just show you, wait. So there will be a CTC range. So I have to just click on not applicable, or I can choose 5 to 10 lakhs. You can choose it however. So as I told, there will be the employment types like permanent, contract, or both. I want to select both. And also I want to choose software testing from this. And I want to relocate. Yes, if you want to, you have to enter the preferred choice. So that's how it's going to be. So based on that, I have located all the elements and sent values to it. And I'm giving some expected conditions that it should be visible unless and until it should wait. Something like that. Next, it is like I want to relocate or not. If yes, I want to choose yes. And I'm going to give the preferred city as Mumbai. After that, it should just hit on the submit button. And again, navigate back to learning.edureka.co and just hit the logout button. And then you should again click on the username, that is my profile username, and hit the logout button. I'm again creating a try catch to check whether if there are any interrupted exception. If yes, then it has to handle that. Simple. Let's now once again run and check the output. So now you'll actually understand how the flow of the project is and how it's working. So first, Chrome Travel launched Google Chrome, navigated through edureka.co website. And after that, what it will do, it will hit the login button. And now it will enter username and password. It will hit the login button. And it will click on the username, that is the icon at the corner. And it will choose my profile from the drop down. Now it will hit on the edit button of the personal details. I wanted to enter the name as Edureka, so I just gave that. And now what it will do, it will switch to career interest. You can see the type of the job, software testing. Employment type will be both. Yes. And the location that is currently based is Bangalore. I want to relocate. Yes. And it entered the preferred location as Mumbai. It hit the next button. Navigated back through the previous page. Again, it will click on the user name. It will hit the logout button. So yes, this is how it works. So when I go back to my Eclipse, I can see the output over here. So what it said, whatever I wanted, it print, because I wanted to know whether the flow is working fine or is there any interruptions in the meanwhile. But no, everything was fine. And it said Edureka profile was passed and the default test was run. There was no failures and no skips. So yes, this is how it works. So I hope you understand how to log into the Edureka portal, navigate through my profile, update the details, and then log out. So this is all about automating a website with the help of Selenium testing tool. I hope you found it interesting. You can try the same with other websites as well. Now let's see what's the next project. So the next project is all about flight booking application. Let's have a look at the problem statement. So the problem statement for this is testing the flight booking website called New Tours and getting the confirmation of the ticket through automation testing using Selenium. So let's have a look at the steps involved in that. So first you have to set the browser factory to check the compatibility of the browsers and log into the New Tours website. And next, enter the details that are required for booking a flight, and finally check for the confirmation of the book ticket. So you have to capture the screenshot for that. Okay, let's see how it works. So now let's understand the working of flight booking application. So I have already created a project for this. So let's see how it is being configured. So basically what I have done, I have created 3 packages. First one for framework, second one called as test package, and the third one is UI package. First, let's see what the framework package consists of. In this, first one is Browser Factory. So let me explain what does Browser Factory comprise of. And also I will tell you why do we need to set the browser specifications as well. So first I have created a class called as Browser Factory and declared the WebDriver variable as static, and I've created a constructor for Browser Factory. Simple. Then I'm setting the Chrome driver options. That is, I'm creating an object of a new Chrome driver. And using the system.set property, I'm giving the path for the Chrome driver. That is where I have installed my Chrome driver. So this is the path. Next, what I'm doing, I'm deleting all the cookies, maximizing the window because I want the Chrome driver to launch Google Chrome and maximize all the windows and delete all the cookies. And next, I'm declaring implicitly wait and page timeout load. And after that, what I'm doing, I'm just returning the driver. So this was for Chrome driver. And the next one is for Firefox driver. So say if you want to execute or run the program in Firefox, what will you do? You need to set the specifications and the drivers for Firefox. For Firefox, the driver that we use is 𝐸 driver. So using system.set property, I'm giving the path where I have installed the 𝐸 driver. And next again, same thing. So in else if condition, if the browser name is equals to ignore case of Chrome, then you have to print in Chrome. And again, what you have to do, you have to again call the Chrome driver and create an object of that. Else, again, so suppose say if I want to run it on Internet Explorer, I have to give the path of the Internet Explorer driver where I have saved it. So I'm giving that. Again, I'm just maximizing the window. I'm deleting all the cookies. I'm giving the page timeout loads and everything. And finally, I'm just returning the driver. So I want my website or an application to run in all the 3 different browsers, that is Internet Explorer, Chrome and Firefox. And that is the reason I'm giving the browser specification for all the 3 different browsers. So this is about Browser Factory. Next, let's go to our UI package. And you can see there is a login page, there is a flight finder page, there is a select flight page, and there is booking flight page, and also there is flight confirmation page. So the process goes like this. First, you have to log in, you have to find a flight, you have to select a flight, you have to book a flight and get the flight confirmation. So let's see one by one. So in the login page, what I need a username and a password. Simple. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm creating a class called login page. I'm giving the web driver that I have declared static in the previous Browser Factory. And I'm just creating a method of a web driver and returning this web driver is equal to driver, that I'm just referring to it. And I'm giving username and password. That is, I'm creating a web element for username and password, and also a web element for login. And then inside the login WordPress page, I'm passing the arguments as string use and string pass, that is for username and for user password. And I'm sending the keys for username and password, and I'm just catching the exception. So basically this is for login page. Next will be a flight finder page. So once you log in, what you have to do, you have to find the flight. So this is a flight finder page where I have declared the variables. So in this case, what I am doing, I'm writing a absolute X path to find the flight details. You can say this is absolute X path. That is for round trip. So in order to locate this particular element round trip, I'm finding it with the help of XPath. And then for one-way trip also, I'm finding it with the help of XPath. So this is the XPath that I have given. And next for the other details like which month from which day and to which port to which month you have to book the round trip, and also for the one-way details as well. And I'm trying to locate the airline, that is the web element airline, and trying to find the find flights option as well. So next, I want to know which kind of class I want, whether I want economy, whether I want business class, or whether I want service class. It again depends on each of your own interests, right? So I'm again finding it with the help of XPath for service class. And then for all the above details, I'm just sending the keys, like for round trip, from which month and from which day to which port to which month and to which day, and the type of the class and the type of the airline, and then find the flights. That is, it is a link or a button. That is the reason you have to just click on the particular find flights link. Okay, simple. So now assume that you have already found your flight. So what you have to do next? You have to select the flight. Yes. So in this class, what I'm doing, there are many options like Blue Skies Airlines, there's Pangea Airlines, there is Blue Skies Airline, there's Blue Skies Airline 361, there is Unified Airline, and also there is Blue Skies Airline 360T, and there are other different kinds of Unified Airlines and everything. And in order to select all those flights, I'm finding it with the help of an XPath. That is, I'm writing the absolute XPath to select the different options of the flight. And finally, I have to select one among them. So if I want to select this particular airline, then it has to execute the first if, else, second one, else third one, and again it goes on, right? So it again depends on which kind of a flight you want to select. And if there is any exception, it will be handled over here. This one was for depart airline WordPress. And now for return airline, I'm again specifying the same thing. That is, I'm specifying the types of the airline present and I'm just catching it in the exception. Simple. And finally, I want to click on the particular one, whichever you want to select, and if any exceptions, it will be catched as an exception and handled. So once you select the flight, the next step is what? You have to book the particular flight. So for that, what you want the details, like you want the first name, you want the last name. If you want any meal, you want, I'm declaring a web element for first name, last name, and meal. So say you want to use a credit card. So I'm giving the credit card type. That is the web element again. Card number, expiry month, expiry years, card first name, card middle name, credit card last name, and the purchase. So next what I have to do, I have to send the keys to all these details like first name, last name, card type, meal, card number, card mid name, card last name, and everything. So you might have observed, in order to send the keys, always I have declared a particular method and then I have specified all the values to send the keys. Correct? Yes. So this is how you need to send the values in order to book a flight. So the next step is the flight confirmation page. So it's very simple. You'll just get the flight confirmation. And for that, I'm again using XPath. And I'm giving the web element logout because I want to log out from the particular website because I'll be getting the flight confirmation. And finally, inside the logout press, I'm just clicking on the particular logout method. So this is all about the UI package. And next what I have for you is I have a helper class for you. So basically, this helper class is used to declare the annotations. Like I want to know whether the particular statement or an element have been executed properly or not. In those cases, I want to specify the annotations to check whether the workflow is performing properly or not and whether the execution is going in flow or not. I want to check these things. So that is the reason I need a helper class to declare the annotations for all those things. So first for at before class, at before suit, it will execute. And then after method, at before method, it will execute, and after class and after suit as well. So it's just because I want to know the workflow, whether it is executing properly or not. That is the reason we need a helper class. So the next one is the test case class. So actually this is the main class. Why? Because I will tell you. This is the class where you will be entering all the details to select a flight, to book a flight, and you'll also get the flight confirmation page. Simple. Let's see how. So I'm declaring the add test, that is the annotation. I'm declaring first for the return ticket method. So inside the driver.get, I'm navigating through the website which I want to. And inside the flight finder, I'm specifying the details accordingly that we have specified over there. That is the ID is 1, Zurich, July 12 from Frankfurt, and on September 15, that is he won a business class, and the airlines is Unified Airlines. This is for the flight finder page that I am giving all the details. And next for select the flight, I am giving the details for selecting the flight, that is for depart airlines and return airlines as well. And then it has to continue. Next, for booking a flight, I am using the book flight page details, that is the name, first name, that is the first name, last name, the meal type, that is he is vegetarian, and the type of the card, MasterCard, the card number, card expiry year, expiry month, first name on the card, mid name on the card, and the last name on the card. Next, for flight confirmation, what I want is I want to capture the screenshot for the flight confirmation. So that is the reason what I'm doing. I'm specifying the directories where I want to get my screenshot captured and saved. So this is what about it. And finally, I have to log out. So this is the first test case. And next, what I want to do, I want to validate the credentials. So again, what I will do, I'll go back to, that is the new tools website. That is my flight booking website. And then for the login page, I'm giving the username and the password for login. And I'm finding the flight based on these details. Yes. And if there is something that matches, then it assert equals to true. Simple. Else it says assert equals to false, and it will catch an exception. So this is all about the test case class. And finally, I have the capture screenshot class where I will get the screenshot. And this is how I need to get the screenshot. With the help of Selenium, I need to get the screenshot. So this is how I'll be writing my code to get the screenshot, wherein I will just say take screenshot is equal to take screenshot and followed by the driver and get the screenshot. So this is a file source, and this will copy the file to the new file path. And then if there is any exception, it will catch. So now I want to tell you one thing. It has to save. And next I want the date timestamp. So for that, this is a format I need to follow. That is, first will be the part of 5 followed by 1, 2 and 3. And then if there is anything, it will replace by this. So this is the format I need to follow in order to get the date timestamp. Simple. Now is the time to execute the program. So for executing, I'll open my test-ng-XML because it's a test-ng package. So this is how I'll write, and I'm specifying the class name because it is in the test package. So this is the path for this class, that is a test case class. And it has to include the name, that is a return ticket, and the validate credentials as well. And then I'll close it with the test suite. Simple. Now I'll run the program and check the output. So I'll run the SAS test-ng suite. Let's run it. Let's see what happens. So you can see here, it is executing at before in method, at after in method, and in Chrome. And first it is executing in return ticket. It detected the version, it navigated through the new tours website, it entered the username and password, and it hit on sign in button. And now for the flight finder page, I need to enter the details. That is, it will enter the passenger number as 1, departing from Zurich on July 12th, and arriving in what? Arriving in Frankfurt. And the returning date will be September 15th. Next, it will select the preference, that is the business class. And the airline will be Unified Airlines, and it will hit the continue button. Next, it will select the first one, that is the Blue Skies Airline, and the return will be Unified Airlines. And again, it will hit the enter button. That is the continue button. And now the time is to enter the passenger details, that is book of flight details. So it's entering the first name as Anirudh, last name as AS, the meal type is vegetarian, and the card type will be MasterCard, the card number, expiry date, and the first name, middle name, and last name on the card detail. That is the credit card details. That's Anirudh A and S. Okay. So next, this is a flight confirmation. So you have already got the flight confirmation and it logged out. So this is the second test case. So it is telling from departing from London on January 20 and arriving in New York. And the returning date will be December 10. And again, the service class will be business class and the airline will be Unified Airlines, and I will hit the continue button. And again, they want a Blue Skies airline and everything. So I just checked about it. So you can see here, first it executed at before class and at before method and in Chrome, that is in Google Chrome. So it shows that it's working fine. And in the return ticket, so this is the date format that I told you. This is how it will execute. And in get screenshot method, before screenshot and after screenshot, and in add before method and in validate credentials. So all these methods work perfectly fine. Now we have to find where our screenshot is being saved of the flight booking confirmation. Okay, let's see. So you can see the details from Zurich to Frankfurt. So this is the screenshot. You can just print it from here if you want to carry this. And the returning will be from Frankfurt to Zurich on 15 September. And the passenger details will be Anirudh AS. Correct? So this is how you can see the screenshot from where it got captured. And this is all about how to automate a flight booking application with the help of Selenium. So everything was working perfectly fine. And you can see all the details entered as according to the flow, and it executed everything as according to the flow. So yes, that's how it works, and this is all about a flight booking application and how do we automate it with the help of Selenium. So I hope you found this project interesting. Next. So these are some of the case studies where many industries are using to resolve and tackle their challenges. So first case study is Enterprise Management System. So here the client is Information Technology Service Provider, that is IT industry. Let's have a look at what are the challenges faced. So the client's custom enterprise management system was a fairly complex application with many modules. And the various modules of the application were used by the client and its customer organizations for corporate communication, project management, customers and sales management, human resource management, accounting, knowledge and learning management, internal social networking, etc. And given the huge scope of the system, there were a large number of test cases to check the functionality and the workflow of the application. And it was becoming difficult and costly for the client to go through the manual testing for any change in the application. And that's why they preferred automation testing, where the effort was very less and the performance needed to be effective and efficient. So what the organization did? So after analyzing the client's application, that is the Information Technology Service Provider application, and various automation tools, organization selected Selenium, which is one of the most popular open source functional and regression testing tools and very well suited for the client's needs. And they found that the Selenium was the best suited tool for regression testing. And they went through the application, understood the functionality and workflow, and prepared the automation test plan. And they also designed a high-level hybrid framework which made the scripts to be very easy to run even for non-technical users. So imagine the test scripts was very easy even for non-technical users as well. And then they developed sets of scripts to be simply run whenever there was a change in the application. So if in the middle of the time if the change comes, then it can be easily automated. And apart from saving the time and a lot of money for testing dollars, the automation scripts take much time to run and simultaneously generate eminently readable and understandable HTML reports. And the customizable HTML reports display information such as test pass or fail result, script execution time, screenshots for each of the test and test steps separately. So these results can be automatically emailed through the test to any number of the persons as desired. So just imagine, it's such an easy task, right, with the help of an automation testing. Yes, and that's why Selenium is the best suitable tool for automation testing. And now in the recent trends, automation testing beats the market. Why? Because of all these advantages only. So this is one of the examples wherein the enterprise management system has incorporated Selenium for regression and functional testing. Let's have a look at the next case study. So the case study is all about automation framework for physical fitness data. So let's have a look at the challenges faced. So this is all about the training about nutrition and physical therapy programs by a team of specialists. As a part of their program, they utilize software that integrates with the workout machines to provide the user with recommended training exercises based on previous workouts, weekly workout challenges, and member goals. So this is all about a type of a health industry, I can say. And they are looking to implement a functional test automation framework for their application in order to perform regression testing as new builds are released. So what are the challenges faced? So the functional test automation framework must support the Google Chrome web browser, and the framework must also be implemented in such a way that script maintenance should be kept at a minimal, and the employees will be able to continue creating scripts when the contract comes to an end. So what is the strategy for that? Selenium WebDriver was used to automate business transactions, and the organization took advantage of page object design pattern to help minimize the maintenance required once an application undergoes user interface changes. And private training was also conducted to provide the client's employees the means to create new test scripts. So what's the solution? The implemented automation framework is 100% open source, and the components that they used was Eclipse, write the scripts, Java, Selenium, Apache Ant, JUnit, etc. And once the framework was in place, the page object design pattern was utilized in which classes were created for each page in the application. And the page object classes provided an interface for the testers to interact with each page. And test scripts was then created by calling the methods from the page object classes that performed specific transactions such as login as register user, create a new user, create a workout, etc. And all work was committed to a subversion repository for version controlling. Not just that, as Selenium WebDriver lacks any built-in logging mechanism, a custom solution was used to record the logs into an XML file using the open source Java API 𝐂𝐸, and each commands and verifications performed were logged. And this provided a detailed view of where the test script has failed and the steps performed that caused the failure. Just imagine, it was even able to provide a detailed view of the test scripts that failed and the steps performed that caused failure as well. So it's much interesting, right? So once the framework was in place and several test scripts created, training was provided to the client's employees on the usage of Selenium. And after that, QA testers began creating test scripts while continuous support was provided for any issues that were encountered. And during scripting, most of the issues encountered were due to Ajax usage in the application. And Selenium WebDriver test script was executing commands faster than Ajax was updating the UI. So Selenium WebDriver test script was executing commands faster than Ajax was updating the UI. And the expected conditions class that is part of the Selenium package was used to wait for certain conditions to be met prior to executing the next Selenium WebDriver command such as visibility of the element, etc. And also management has also requested that a report should be generated after executing a test suite. In order to create the report, Apache Ant was used to execute the JUnit test and generate a JUnit report. And the report displayed metrics on the number of tests that failed and passed. And reports also can be drilled down to display additional information about each failure and what caused the failure to occur. And lastly, a local server was set up with virtual machines of different operating systems that supported different browser versions. And the virtual machines will serve to provide an environment in which full regression testing will be performed on using the Selenium grid. So what are the benefits of this? By sticking with an open source project, there was no cost in obtaining the required components to set up the framework, and additional savings were made by implementing the Selenium grid. Originally, the client opted to utilize a third-party company to execute Selenium WebDriver test scripts. With the help of Selenium Grid, the client is now able to run the Selenium WebDriver test scripts without any limits or fees. So this is all about the benefits and how Selenium has helped in various aspects for automation framework for physical fitness data. It made use of Apache Ant, JUnit test, WebDriver, Selenium Grid, and many more. Most importantly, it required very less human effort and there were no intervention costs, and also it was performing very well and the cost was very low. And that's why Selenium is preferred when compared to other automation tools in the market. I hope you found these case studies interesting. If you wish to master Selenium along with its certification and wish to become a test automation engineer and work on real-time projects, then you can check out the Test Automation Masters program, which will help you to master an automation testing domain. So let's have a look at what this master program provides us. So Edureka offers master's program in automation testing which helps you to achieve success in optimizing your test automation strategies and methodology. You will learn how to perform software testing in all phases of the software lifecycle and automation of any web-based application using Selenium. And this also includes continuous testing in DevOps, performance testing using JMeter, mobile app testing using APM. That is, there are 5 courses with 3 self-paced, total 8. So you can see the first course is about software testing fundamentals course. Next is Selenium certification training, and there's continuous testing in DevOps training, performance testing using JMeter, mobile app testing using APM, and test automation engineer master capstone project. Let's have a look at the first one if you wish to. So in this, you will be learning about software testing, manual testing versus software testing. You will learn about functional and non-functional testing, and you'll get a hands-on on social networking site, that is account creation page, and it will cover both UI and API examples with screenshots. So if you wish to have a look at the Selenium training, you can have a look at it. So you will be learning about introduction to Selenium and its components. You'll learn about Selenium WebDriver, XPath, handling different controls on a web page. You'll learn about TestNG, you'll learn about grid, page object model, and page factory. And you will also learn about Git, Jenkins, and many more things. So next is continuous testing in DevOps training. So it comprises of overview of DevOps, and you learn version control with Git as well. And if you wish to know about performance testing using JMeter, you can also have a look at it. You learn about elements of JMeter, how to do performance testing, why JMeter is a preferred tool for performance testing, and many more. And if you wish to learn about mobile app testing, you can learn that as well, wherein you'll understand, define mobile automation testing, different mobile platforms, types of mobile testing tools, its approaches, its levels, and automation frameworks. And also you'll learn about the Master Capstone project. That will be your final project, and you will be awarded with a certification for master's program as well. So this is how your certification looks like from Edureka. Also, you can choose free elective courses along with learning path. That will be your Python scripting certification training, Ruby on Rails certification, and Ruby with Cucumber certification training as well. So this is all about the Test Automation Engineer Master's Program, which is a complete package for you to become a test automation engineer and master in your role. Sounds interesting? Yes. If you wish to master and become a test automation engineer, do not wait, just kickstart your career with Edureka. So that's all about the session. I hope you found it interesting, and I hope you learned something out of this session. Thank you and have a nice day.